Okay, I think we should be live now. What's up everyone, welcome to the stream. Today, let's just analyze a few charts. Just keep it chill on a Sunday here. Let's prepare our trading week next week. Let's see if we can spot some good high time frame charts with some good possibilities there that we want to see for the coming week. Let me just start on top of this list and then we'll see what happens. Let me share the stream real quick in the Discord before I go any further. Copy this, share the stream. There we go. Let's start it from scratch on AFAX. High time frame wise, it has been very interesting on AFAX, of course. With pretty much Ethereum pumping as well, we would have expected AFAX to go as well. But AFAX is still in this range right here. On the higher time frame, I must say it doesn't look that bad. That is because we have tested this pullback right here. We had this compression where you kept SFPing your lows, market maker filling up long orders, and we have finally tested that bid back. We didn't do it right here, so we had another reason to come back to that zone. Everyone that was longing in this move right here has been stopped out, and market makers filled up under market maker demand and also swept that liquidity right there. Now let's start zooming in this local picture, because we are consolidating, of course. And when we are consolidating, you're either building up liquidity on the lows or on the highs, or you want to take it on the lows to fill up orders on the lows, or you want to do the same on the highs. Okay. So what is happening here? Well, you had been grinding down a bit, of course, building that liquidity on the highs until we've started taking enough liquidity on the lows, and then we could see that rotation towards the highs. We front ran our major liquidity right here because this is where your grind down has started, and this would also be your technical target, of course. But we front ran that, and we had reasons to believe price could held up here because of our high time frame test and this liquidity hunt right there. We kept it beautifully, and now we are moving up in the desired direction, which is up. We did leave this, I would say, little market maker block, and I'll tell you why. Let me start zoom in on this local price action, because what we did here was very interesting. Of course, we have swept the low on the left. We had reasons to believe we could trend up very aggressively. What happened here was, this was your first struggle point. you can clearly see the reaction of the market, because this is what brought us towards new lows. This is also what offered us resistance, and after we flip it, of course, it's going to be support. So that is your breaker block, and as you can see on the 1 hour, you did have those reasons to that this is your change of character. Your break above, your test back, and this is just expecting your higher low for new higher highs there. And what makes it so interesting in this part is we've created a high and we have created a low. We traded above the high, which means we attracted a lot of buyers into the market. Where are those buyers going to be? Right here. That also makes it interesting for the market makers to come back to this low, sweep them, and then you can start going. So everyone that has been predicting this trend right here, which makes sense of course, has been stopped out, and that's when you gained the high once more and you just tested back your piece that brought you towards the new highs, and you kept trending up from there. So that is definitely a point of interest to keep in mind, and we could test that back for sure. There are reasons, because we have took this drawn liquidity up here, we are expecting some resistance, and that is exactly what's happening right here, because we have a high, we have a low, and we've created new highs from there. If we wanted to keep that uptrend and be aggressive and trade aggressive towards the upside, we would have to make that higher low for another higher high right there. But that's not what happened. We actually made a change of character here. And this change of character indicates a possible trend switch. Because after we've now made a new lower low, what is our expectation order flow on this 4-hour / daily time frame trend? That is another lower high for another lower low. This also really aligns with your point of interest to test back here, and also your reaction from the highs right here. And locally there's another interesting part. Just as I've explained why this is such a good zone, I'm gonna explain something right here as well. What did you do? You trended up, and of course you had the short point of interest. What we did was we traded aggressively under the lows. Right here. And when we trade aggressively under lows, what is gonna come into the market? Of course, a lot of sellers. That also makes it interesting for us to take this out. Now, all of the people that has been selling in this move with this possible break of our structure down here has been stopped out, and that's also why we're seeing a reaction here. And is there any reason to go back up here after this sweep? That's what we have to find out now. Or can we just expect this trend to continue towards our liquidity that has been building up down here? That's when we have to look on the left. It will be either this. If this is tested, you really do not have a reason to come back up there. Yeah, it has been tested perfectly. And how did I draw this zone in? Well, that's very simple, because on the lower time frame you have a high, a higher low, and a higher high. And this is the first time sellers stepped in and pushed us towards a new lower low. And we have never tested that piece back. We have now, with this manipulation here as well. So yes, I am expecting more downside on AVAX. Where could we look for that downside? Well, this was our structure pointing up. This made us new highs. So if we do start to lose this bit, which we have done, you can clearly see the reaction as well, right? I mean, this was supposed to bring us up towards new highs. It failed. So what is this gonna become? This is gonna become our breaker. Our uptrend failed us. Sellers stepped in this move up. And we have now flipped towards new lows. So we basically have the room between this high and the low it's gonna form now to expect a lower high for a lower low. It can either be aggressively testing our breaker and then going down. It can be this little supply box here, because this is the last bit of price action before we started breaking this right here and also losing our demand. And it could even be right there, because this is our local trend they tried to bring us up, and this is also not tested back yet. So all in all, very interesting levels to look at. And let's say you want to preset this. How are we gonna align then? Let's check it out. Let's see how the risk to rewards will be. Remember, the fast we can come up is also how fast we can come down. Always keep that in mind. What are you expecting? New lows, because this trend is also made a lower low. We can expect a lower high for another lower low. It's basic market structure. This does bring some opportunity with us, for sure. I was looking at some potential scalps on Bitcoin right now if we do certain things. I've drawn in the arrow tool just because I want to mark out this is my point of interest. Why would I be interested in longs here? Well, if we look on the left side here, this was pretty much our only liquidity build, our last liquidity in this whole up move. I mean, if we need more liquidity instead of this, then we're just gonna come all the way down here. And when we swept it, it did give us a reaction and a little change of character on the lower time frame. So that means some strength from the bulls came from this area right here. This is also where you could have gotten a really nice long scalp while following the structure. I mean, this is where we swept it. After we swept it, we made a nice change of character, and that's when you can just expect the trend to continue. Also, lured some more buyers in this move. Makes it more interesting to trade below here. Tested back our old liquidity beautifully, and that's when we just continued the trend there. So locally, I want to keep an eye on Bitcoin right here, because if we can start switching the trend here, we could have a clear invalidation with a great bottom as well here. And then we could just trade towards all of this trend liquidity that has been building up. So I want to be sharp here. Let's go to XRP. Yeah, we nailed one yesterday again as well. Let me explain this little recap here. Okay, XRP. Of of course, when you zoom a little bit out, you can see all of this trend liquidity that has been built. And we formed a top here. This top is created to grab liquidity on the lows. And we do not know what liquidity is enough for an order for that rotation towards new highs. Alright. We've made a bottom here. No reason for any potential upside here yet, because you've made a new low from there, so you wanted to gain this piece first. That's what we did here. We had gained this piece that brought us towards new lows, which is a higher high. This is the part, our last price action before we took out this high. So that's relevant to test back. Also aligns with this box here as well. So we had our demand POI. Plus, is this a top we are gonna leave behind? I do not think so. Why? Because look at the way we're leaving everything behind. We're just building up liquidity, building up liquidity. And when we start zooming in, we had this little liquidity hunt that brought us up to new lows. But let's say it's a liquidity hunt. We traded aggressively above the high. That makes everyone trying to buy the price right here. But we traded down so aggressively that everyone has been stopped out. And then we actually saw some interesting PA happening in this box, because this is not a way you want to go up, this is not a way you want to create bottoms, like nowhere near. But what happened here is we traded aggressively down with this move. We went over the high, like drawn in here. That's when we can, we're luring buyers into the market. Why are we doing that? Well, that makes it interesting to go back down here. We took out our extreme liquidity here. This is our first higher low before that grind up. We took out that liquidity there. Broke above the high again. And this is the last price action that caused us to go there. Also aligning with this breaker. And that was your play. Of course, your technical target is towards this bit. But you could have runners, because we could expect this trend to continue. So that's also how you really fine-tune an entry on the lower time frame, combining your higher time frame trends. If you do those things, then good things are awaiting you. Let's check Sui. If anyone in the chat has a chart request, then chat with me, brothers. You're absolutely free to ask literally anything. So let's go. Just 1 second, then I'm gonna continue with analyzing Sui. It's annoying because when I'm live streaming, you cannot play your own music. You just have to, you know, those copy-free background musics. You have to play that. Give me 1 second here. I'm almost done. Okay then. Quickly go check out Bitcoin. Nothing special with the volume, but we could say this is a little accumulation before we start trading this way. Could definitely be the case, especially when we start gaining this level here. Could expect some further upside. That's what I would be watching here. Let's see if we can target all of this trend liquidity then. And I'm curious if we do manage to go below these lows, if we only need to sweep this low right here, or if we're also going to go towards that low, because that would just create a more higher time frame range, where this is your huge range, and we could see something like this, sweeping it, something like that for a bottom forming here. And if that's not the case, then we're of course going to go towards these levels. Alright, XRP we did do. Yeah, I don't see anything interesting right now on XRP. Possible plays or scalps. This one makes it a bit more scary to long down here. Liquidity hunt. Could just be top forming. Then go towards this liquidity and then we could see a reaction. Because this is what brought us towards new highs. We have to hunt it. If we do not see strength on the lower time frame here, it's just gonna go lower. What I do like is all of this trend line that has been building up, but we need that local confirmation that we're gonna need to go up first. I checked out gold yesterday a little bit as well, to check how our high time frame was going. Beforehand in the Discord, I shared this one here, where we did have that change of character. You were building that liquidity on the highs, and if we would do manage to keep this all liquidity, we could see some upside. And the only way of literally playing this is or on the lower time frame there, which you would have to be really sharp for, or as soon as you just broke, even this would be enough here. If we broke that, we could target our technical target, which is right here. And I also said, because we're in a more higher time frame compression, you could expect a reaction here, because the meaning of this bottom could just be to target this liquidity right here, which is your technical target if you look at this pattern. And we actually managed to play this one live. Remove this, that's messy. Right now I've drawn in that we're just in a compression and I'm not interested in trading gold right now, unless We take out the high, move down, or we take out this low and move up. So the only way of playing compressions. Then, what happened here? This is our supply that brought us all the way up to new lows. This is not how you leave strong lows behind. No, this is building liquidity until you've tested something here, grabbed enough, then move down. So keeping that in mind, we had this little price action here. You had this push that brought us up to new highs, and we tried again right here, which is just following the trend. But as soon as we fail, we break below it, we do have that change of character, which is right here. And when we have that change of character, that's your momentum switch. Sellers stepped in at this moment, took over from the buyers to switch the trends. This was a really simple change of character play compared with this high time frame. And like I've just discussed, our liquidity that we grabbed right there. It also aligns with our resistance on that old liquidity. Beautiful. Let's check something weird like Fartcoin. Okay, I see I've drawn it. It's not that bad. I like this. We could start trading towards this supply. And that is because of this range modeling right here. All of this trend liquidity that has been built up to possibly fill up some orders. We took out, let me draw that in with a normal line. We took out extreme liquidity here. This was also our, this is pattern recognition, right? This high time frame, and you can see this locally. And what have we done here? The local time frame. This is your last push towards those new lows. So that means this would also be your whole point of interest for new possible higher low scenarios. Look at the way we're coming down, building that liquidity on the highs, which is great. And as soon as we manage to do this right here, you can expect the higher low for another higher high. And why is that? Because that's your expectational order flow. If your high time frame is looking like this, then we could expect the higher low for a higher high. Now you need your internal structure to look like this. And if you manage to create that break here, you can play the higher low for new highs and then possibly even target it towards here, which is crazy percentages. That's a scenario. If anyone's new here to the stream, then definitely feel free to speak you out. If you have a chart request or anything, feel free to ask, brothers. Feel free to. Okay. Let's check out ADA. Yeah, I didn't like this about ADA because why? Look at these massive equal lows. We know what equal lows are. They are a magnet to price. And if I look at this high time frame, bam, we broke structure above. Our high time frame swing range is this right here. Draw it in the right way. And other range low, we do have equal lows, which are magnets to the market. I'm not saying we're gonna go towards this part, but I am saying there is a possibility to. And as a trader, you have to look at the possibilities. Because you do not want to be surprised when price does something you didn't expect. Because then that's when we start reacting more emotionally. Quickly check Bitcoin. See if we can start breaking this level, and then we could possibly see some upside. Maybe take a scalp as well. Okay, beta. Do have 3 taps now. These could be market maker sell signals. The thing is, we have a whole block left open here, which we could test back. Do we have to? No. Why not? Because we took out all the extreme liquidity in this grindy up move. Grind it up from here. This was all of your liquidity. Took it out, made new highs. Hold this low just means higher price action. Maybe even sweep that low and test this back, because we haven't tested that as well. Have to look at Bitcoin, I see. See if we can get a convincing break. We're not there yet. It's mostly this part here that we want to break. Not there yet. This is, we actually front ran this one, which is more bullish than bearish. Because if you front run liquidity like this, you're probably gonna grind a bit more down, build your last liquidity before taking that out, and then we could even see rotation down from there, or just continue with the expansion. Then if we look at this local picture, what I do not like is what we did here. We were in an uptrend, we traded below it, luring a lot of people into sell position, taking that out, and then continuing the trend down, and we haven't taken liquidity since. So that feels, yeah, that just feels bearish to me, because we did that. The tester point of interest. Sure, if we manage to keep building this liquidity on the highs, we could return to this level. A bit higher. This level right here where we could hold support, or this right here. Your last pullback that brought you towards new lows. To test that back. So let's see if we can create some sort of range here, where we've taken out this low, build a little bit more liquidity, take it out one more time, then just flame towards the upside. Could be happening. Could also be doing the same on the highs, of course. see how it will respond. Quickly check Bitcoin because of course could be a scalp coming. Of course, Bitcoin on Sunday, it's you have to think of it this way as well, because on a Sunday you can already see in the market what could happen the week after. It's always preparing itself somehow. So let's see if we can break this. Leaving open our lows, indicating we need more liquidity on the highs. Could be right here, could be right here, could be right here, but could also be all the way up here. So this is our little bottom to trade towards those highs today. Let's just place an alert above that there. See when we can break that. Okay, Solana actually took that high out there. From a play we've actually managed to scalp yesterday in our yesterday's live stream. Someone asked me to analyze Solana when it was right here. And we had this beautiful turnaround using our price action formulas. Especially this indication, luring in buyers into the market, taking them out, and then getting that local trend switch on the local time frame. Beautiful. I also said when we traded above this, we have tested everything back at the lows, and if we've managed to keep this little part here, we could just see only upside. That's exactly what we did. We've even created new highs from there. Crazy. Bitcoin hit my alert, I can see. So that was crazy on Solana. But we took out the high one more time, which is really bearish. That also, I can remove this range right there, and our range is changed. Because it's now like this local range here, this liquidity below, definitely looking for shorts here. Okay. Trend liquidity here. We can expect us moving towards all of this liquidity until the trend is proven otherwise. This is our piece that brought you towards new lows. Never managed to gain it. Just gonna move down towards this liquidity right here. Pretty simple. Remove this. See if we can scalp Bitcoin here. Where were we? ADA. I've already been live for 40 minutes. It's crazy. Time literally flies when you're streaming, when you're charting. It's a good sign, of course, especially when you're behind the charts all day. Then man, time just literally flies by. I don't like this music. Let me see if I can... Oh, this is better. What are we doing low time frame on ADA? Anything interesting? Sure. You can see this black line, right? This is a pretty advanced trick, because this is our low that brought us towards that hunt. And when we hunt it and we get a reaction like that, you can see all of those people trying to play this construction here. But that makes it interesting for them to go below that low one more time. So all those people then went in super aggressive for that higher low and a new higher high, got stopped out. And from here we started trading up, and we could still expect price to do something like this. Make that higher low, go for that higher high. We are still building this trend liquidity, so that means we are not prepared yet, most likely, to move in the desired direction. What do we want to see here? I mean, if we can hold this level here, we can just trade upwards. And if not, we have an opportunity to do it all the way here. A little bit combining with our old liquidity there. And if we don't do that, we have another scenario where we could just go under the low one more. And if we do get a quick reaction there, you can go in really aggressive towards this trend liquidity, which would be your technical targets. If that happens, then again, your local reaction is really important. So Bitcoin can hold this local trend. And if not, even this would be still support. And if we cannot hold here, we have to go towards these lows then once more. And then get that reaction up. And if not, then it's Bitcoin towards this level. 114k. And that would be your draw. Let's wait and see. How is it Solana? But how could we play Solana, of course? We've all the most likely you will reject here. This aligns with our first hold and push towards the downside. We had a reaction over here. We had the bounce from here. Because most likely we're going to use this as resistance as well. And trade down from there. Towards this liquidity. Gonna be live for 15 more minutes, so if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. So would be happy to answer them. Been seeing a lot of people joining here and there, but okay, let's still keep an eye on Bitcoin, because once again could be a trade coming. What's the volume here? Not that crazy. We're still below that box. Just checking 1 minute time frames. See if there's any scalps. A lot of alts just took out a low. Probably reason for little bounce. I would really have to do something. Take the low, then go. Like I've explained before. Because the trend liquidity we are building up is just crazy. You see trend liquidity like this, it's most likely always going to be in a few candles, big ones. Because everyone that has been shorting here has their stop losses above these points. Let's wait and see for that. For now, market is really slow. There's not a lot of volume in here, but it is shaping up nicely for the next coming week. Which I like, of course. You're seeing those little reverse and bounce, but the only one looking a bit nice is Bitcoin itself. For the rest, there's still some things that need to happen for in order to take longs. So if Bitcoin is doing more itself, let's check its dominance. As expected, rising a bit as well. That means alt could be hanging it in there and Bitcoin could be going up more aggressively today. What's the high time frame? Oh man, that really is like little alt season. This move is already bigger than this one, which is great. I mean, there have been some gains, of course, especially towards Ethereum. interesting here now. We still have a bunch of liquidity we've left open here. The time here you had reasons to long, but right now you have to be careful because we tested supply as well. We could just do this because of how we've built up here. Link. I did like Link because it had some crazy PA, as you can see. Let's remove everything. Unclear. This is way too much in the screen. Crazy. Why didn't you guys tell me? Come on. Link was kind of moving with Ethereum. So that also means we do start rejecting here and Ethereum starts rejecting the all-time high just took. We could definitely see some profit taking and a reaction down. Especially because we have this pullback that isn't tested yet. Also 3 taps. With your 3rd tap taking something really relevant. What are your options now? Not sure if we've tested this. Let's check it out. We have tested it. Okay, that's where we're getting reaction from now. Maybe if we start to gain this old low here, we can move towards a bit of this trend liquidity. And we could still reject here though. Yeah, getting this old low is really important. It's your first change of character as well. You can see the resistance it has. Because this is what brought you towards new lows. And that's also what you have to gain for in order to expect some more upsides. Bitcoin trying to move here, which is great. Just such inconsistent candles in weekends. You get then literally 50 minutes of almost no price movement, but then you're just gonna get candles with and then sometimes just candles like these pumping the price up like crazy. Let's see if we get that right now. If we manage to break this level with some confidence. How can I let me figure something out. You understand? See what will happen from here. Alright. Yeah, Ada did manage to hold and we kept on pushing. This level right here. No reason for a trade for me though. Even though we lured in buyers here, took them out, and did get the gain here. Interesting how we reject with this high, because this is a range. In Nasdaq terms, we would say this is macro precision. Let's see if ETH will gain this supply. Then it's still a bit annoying for me to take a trade because how we're leaving this behind. Link did manage to gain its level here, back into its old range. That means for me, if we manage to get something like this, 1 minute, let's check. Get price trending down like this, breaking internal structure and then continuing, then I'm ready to play on Link, the scalp. Sweet, to take that low, but you had no confluences yet for some good trades. Also, again, how are you leaving the market behind? Not in the greatest shape. So let's see what happens. Yeah, worth the risk, because you have the opportunity to trade all the way towards here, and I would take a 5R any day of the week. I don't think there's much to be doing here though. Unless any of you have a chart request, but be happy to answer any of them. We'll draw them in, give you my perspective on certain coins, and that is a unbiased perspective using pure price action. Where did the big people step in? Where are they buying? Where could they be selling? It's pure price action. Next struggle point. Still easily do this. Test here again, then move up. Even sweep something, then move up. Or just go aggressively, flip this supply and then start running up. But this is good support now. Yeah, for the rest I'm not really seeing interesting local time frame charts to scalp. So let's take a look at CoinMarketCap. See if there's anything interesting, any popular coins that has a lot of volume recently, because those are also pretty clean to read. Prompt, let's check it out. There we go. Oh my god, this is crazy, right? I mean, it was readable, you know. Bottoms like these don't just form in a normal way. It's always the same, always those 3 taps. Locally. Prefer using this one. I want to see if this is tested on the lower time frame. Or else this is gonna be an easy draw. But I am expecting resistance before we actually push there. Did test that zone back. Interesting. Then we also have to keep in mind this range right here. Took out this part, took out extreme liquidity that we actually managed to break from here. That is actually really interesting. We have nothing to break here locally though. So it's still up until proven otherwise. But I do like this reaction to grab from the extreme liquidity. Could mean resistance here. Go back there and then start accumulating again. We did break structure on the 1 minute. 2 minutes. Not really a break. Actually, yeah, it's a break. Let's hope we do something like this. Make a new high, break locally, then you would have yourself a short. Definitely gonna put it on my list though. Because this is just interesting PA. This is literally an optimal test. There's nothing really to test back when we go higher. Let's turn the charts around. It always helps. Yeah. Holding here is more downsides. Sure. Let me check what would your RR be. Managed to get into play here somewhere. Just curious. At least 2. Run us towards 3. And then little position open for the rest. But your TP definitely would be here. And here. If you manage to have an RR like this. You manage to get a better RR, then of course feel free to take some more profits off earlier. Man, 45% today. Just FOMO, FOMO, FOMO. That's the perfect time to actually see if we can play short. Okay. To get that reaction of the GP. Like I said, let's just see if we can create a new high, then break it locally. Use this as a breaker to get that short going towards this liquidity we've been building up. We'll have to wait and find out. Up, tested this sure piece to break. Let me just wait for a possible position in here, and then I am gonna end the stream because I've been talking a little bit. Hi, enjoying your analysis. Aminu, you're back again, brother. Thank you for being here, my friend. Please, can we check Sin USDT? Sure, man. Put an alert up here. Now let's check it for you. All right. Okay. One of those. What interests me, what doesn't interest me? First of all, of course, it's a little bit of a dying coin on the higher time frame. There's probably a lot of less volume to trade, so less volume also means less manipulation or more. But if we do zoom in, we can also see the volume indicator is not that steady. You just have those massive random spikes. I do not like that, but it's always tradable. So let's look at the technical analysis, because maybe there is a play. I do not like that at the lowest point here we just didn't have that much volume. I do not like that. We did hold our swing liquidity. This brought you up to a massive push up, meaning a lot of buyers would have been stepping in here, trading below it, and now actually holding that as support, so that is great. What is interesting here, this also aligns with your old liquidity line, and you've got that massive higher high from there. That also makes it interesting to go below here, sweep it, which we have done. So I wouldn't have to say that we have to come back down here. We don't have to. Okay. What's happening in here? This is your first little struggle. Before we actually started breaking. I see I had a little error with OBS there. Sure, it's fine, it's working on that. What we're doing is we are sweeping that low every time. Grabbing a lot of liquidity, even trading above a high here, taking it out one more time, which makes it interesting to now start moving upwards towards this liquidity. See here, this would be your extreme supply to target. Also combining with the sweep to the left here. Sure. Hold this level. See a local trend switch there. And we could expect just more upside towards these levels here. Could definitely be the case. And if not, this becomes liquidity. And we want to test this back. So scenario 1 is this. Scenario 2. And if that doesn't happen, then scenario 3. Then we're gonna go towards this demand still, test it back, and then I think we should absolutely smash towards the upsides. But we don't have to. But those are your 3 local scenarios now. You could still take this liquidity out, leave open your low, and then move up. Locally, I mean, you can already see in these candles, it's not the best volume, right? So me personally, I wouldn't prefer these coins to trade, because the 1 minute, the 2 minute, they just look less clean. What I can do is check is this it? Because if this then it's such low volume. Synapse, is this Synapse? This is Synapse. Yeah, that's just way too less volume for me, man. To at least day trade in. But maybe take some sort of swing. Optional. But that volume is scaring me away a little bit. Because there's just not much trading volume going on. I mean, there are enough other good coins to look for trades in. So yeah. What have we done here? Okay, beautiful. We get that reversal now, we have a short on our hands. Nice, even took out this. Let's see it. Oh man, such aggressiveness. Let's see if we still can get that reversal, if we don't just push through. Because we definitely can get it. And if we do not get it, we have to look at this high right here. Maybe sweep that and then move down. Not really rejection yet, just wicks on the top side, good signaling, just take profits as well. There's no reason to be extra alert right now. If we manage to reject this high right here, which we're at right now, then we could see a quick move like this. If we break our lows, of course. Because if we do not break our lows right here, we could just expect more upside. Does Bitcoin sweep those lows yet? Not yet. Gonna end the stream here soon, so if anyone still has questions, then go ahead and ask them. Testing this for vary gap, as well as this complete structure, which is your demands. So highs are still inevitable unless we start flipping this. Where are you from, Aminu? Aminu Abdul. Abdul, excuse me. Curious. Let's check a little. I don't know. I think we can listen to NEMS. Why not?
Yo, apart from bro when I ain't had bread, me I didn't hear from no one. I span that block on my pedal bike, and I didn't see no one. I was linking fucks and dogging them out and hanging up cars like hold on. Kinda weird, I missed that life, right? But it feels so wrong. Got paid but I had to stretch it. Now I'm posted up trying to get it.
Bitcoin unfortunately failed to get out one more time. Probability was worth a shot. Let's see if we can flip this. See no one. I was linking fucks and dogging them out and hanging up cars like hold on. Kinda weird, I missed that life, right? But it feels so wrong. Yo, shouted K like yo bro bleach it. At home debating the repercussions, yo fuck that I'm leaving. Ran man down in the daylight, probably like one zoo in the evening. Man always say real, recognize real. Really what is the meaning? Car when bread's involved, them guys you're tight with moving different. Mumsy didn't expect this life for me when I was an infant. She saying I'm nonchalant, I'm glad you know how to listen. My neck went green back then, but now the VVs glisten. Apart from bro when I ain't had bread, me I didn't hear from no one. I span that block on my pedal bike, and I didn't see no one. I was linking fucks and dogging them out and hanging up cars like hold on. Kinda weird, I missed that life, right? But it feels so wrong. Apart from bro when I ain't had bread, me I didn't hear from no one. I span that block on my pedal bike, and I didn't see no one. I was linking fucks and dogging them out and hanging up cars like hold on. Kinda weird, I missed that life, right? But it feels so wrong. In 50 minutes maximum, I am gonna go. Then I will be ending the stream. For now, I'm just chilling with this, looking at prompt for possible trades. Do I have to break structure first? No triggers yet. Curious if we're just gonna hunt this local one or then straight away go towards this high and this high. Let's check it out. Breaking this now is as well positive. Or this is just by luring in buyers, taking it out, then blasting. But if we take out this low and we are finding some resistance here, you can have yourself a short.
Life, I gotta get rich, I can't be broke. I was asking favors, and everyone telling me no. Wait till the tables turn, we'll see who stays or goes. I don't wanna be outside, I need someone that can keep me home. Yo, I feel so close, but so far. Go home, I go hard, how can I?
Zell, this shit crazy.
Yo, spotted a dime at the corner of my eye. She got enough man on the line, back just poking like a knife. Think she tryna get my line, demon with the angel eyes. Maybe I'm hypnotized, but why am I thinking twice? Yo, 2-man step, I got my ting on me, so don't even try that shit. Make it clap like I won an award, like I'm sat at the Brits, bro in the trap, like a sim no O2, setting up shop in the Ritz. Before commitment issues, I was sat
To
with
break
bro, just
this.
planning a lick. Kinda the goose on me, shiesty one. When I go link that baddie, check my rear, just in case.
Bitcoin recovered yet. We'll have to hold here for more upside, or else we're just gonna go towards this wick here.
Spotted a dime at the corner of my eye. She got enough man on the line, back just poking like a knife. Think she tryna get my line, demon with the angel eyes. Maybe I'm hypnotized, but why am I thinking twice? Yo.
We don't send them that addy. If they wanna come, then we send them a personal driver. I don't care if that bitch is a baddie, if I know that girl is a liar. She materialistic, I make her take this dick and work for designer. Said that she want 10k, but she ain't even worth it in Naira. I just spotted a dime, she decent, demon, she wanna sign the agreement. All of these bitches bookie, probably chatting to guys I'm beefing. They ain't got no morals, they see what I got and they think about teething. I had to kick this bitch out of telly cause she tried taking a pic of me sleeping. Jack boys wanna try trap me with a female and pray that I slip up. The young G's don't take my advice and stay out the way of the mix-up. She was shaking it on me and thought my nank poking and she thought I was bricked up. I'm telling these women that we do the tricking and none of these chicks can trick us. Try line man up, that's a myth. Security guard at the front and the back of the crib, I'm pranging long look back when I jump out the van. 6 man crapped up in the back of the whip. If the car gets spun, bros back in the bin. And I slipped up once, it won't happen again. If I was them, would've given it up. If I keep it a buck, I ain't rapping again.
Spotted a dime at the corner of my eye. She got enough man on the line, back just poking like a knife. Think she tryna get my line. Demon with the angel eyes. Maybe I'm hypnotized, but why am I thinking twice? Yo.
She materialistic, I make her take this dick, can't work for designer. Said that she want 10k, but she ain't even worth it in Naira.
No one checked on me when I needed, so I just stack my bread, stay in my bag and not in my feelings. Overthink too much, I get distracted, start to deep it. I just deal with people exactly how they treat me. On the block ain't nothing but youths, trying to be bad and hoes that act up. I've been obsessed with money, I knew would get my stack up. I ain't lacking on my own, I got me, no backup. They talking on me, and none of it factual. Meanwhile, blowing a bando, hoping
Projecting this line beautifully now though. Now we need a break, and then we can scalp this towards our liquidity that we're building.
No one checked on me when I needed, so I just stack my bread, stay in my bag and not in my feelings.
Bitcoin is respecting that. Bitcoin doesn't really matter for guessing it's a meme coin. Not sure.
But guess what? Not today. Try block my shine. Aight bro, get out the way. You man beef ain't got no income, that shit dead to me. I know that host still want a reaction, you lot be tempting me. I know that hurt, I cut you off, now you wanna get to me. Stop that separately, ask me how I am though mentally. No one checked on me when I needed, so I just stack my bread, stay in my bag and not in my feelings. Overthink too much, I get distracted, start to deep it. I just deal with people exactly how they treat me. No one checked on me when I needed, so I just stack my bread, stay in my bag and not in my feelings. Overthink too much, I get distracted, start to deep it. I just deal with people exactly how they treat me.
So this shit crazy.
Slow PA, damn. Just break it already, come on. Well, we're just gonna wait for this break, which is happening right now. Go below it, test this breaker back, and then we could look for a short towards this all of this liquidity that we have built. Also aligning with this market maker model on the highs. Then maybe even get runners here or even lower, who knows, because we've pumped up. How much percent is it? Today 45% on this coin. So we need a good break. And then we could possibly see some downside. Because what we're doing right now is not showing strength. We're staying below this liquidity here. After this sweep we had a massive move down. So this could just be the structure we're expecting. Doesn't mean we cannot go above this one more time and then move down. Still the case. That's why we want to see you break, and then it's worth your risk. Bitcoin gained the level nicely. Just grinding up those alts. Unfortunately, I said it about Link, but I couldn't even be able to play it because I didn't check back at it. I said this would be a great point of interest when we come down. When we show we have structure, this is making our new lows, and this is literally your play, but stupid that I didn't put in a alert at Link, because this just would have been your play. 100%. Maybe we can target some of this liquidity here. Okay, we're starting to break down. Not an amazing close yet, but this is a break.
Mash my right hand's house is mad when he lost that 9mm. Brilliant mind and brilliant baby. Mash for the peas and covered in gravy. Some of this house is more than dangerous. Headshot do it like Jamie. German cargo, yellowish inside, outside black like Thomas Delaney. Come to the bit then I send on them Elway Manny. Feeling like Foden's baby. Fuck this 10 like Sancho's enemy. Wanna go Hakkasan 2, not Tennessee. Was Bellamy, Bells was telling me. Ma just pour that coke and Hennessy.
Alright, I'm gonna end the stream here. I will keep everyone updated in the Discord about this possible play that could be forming, which I might be interested in taking. So yeah, thank you everyone for being here. Aminu, thank you brother. I hope to see you in the next one again. Hope to see you nice and active in that Discord. And I'll see you all in the next live stream. See ya.